What's up guys, it's your boy King Mally. We're back again with another Go Game Go Home. If you have no clue what we do on this series and you're like, well, why am I here? It's where we take games, we play them and we review them, talk about the pros and cons, and at the very end of this video I say it's Go Game, which means you should definitely go buy it, spend all your hard earned cash on this game, or go home, which means I wouldn't so much recommend you getting this game at all and don't spend any money on it. And let me just say, quick disclaimer, one, this is my opinion or what I would say in the first few seconds of this video, so please do not come after me if you actually enjoy this game a lot. And two, I am going to say some spoilers in this, there will be some things that I would say and may spoil the game for you, and you'll probably be like, why didn't you tell me? I am telling you now, okay? I'm just saying. Apart from that, let's get to it. So, quick summary, my final thoughts of this game. Disappointed. I am not joking. Very, very, very disappointed. This game got cancelled and pushed so many times to me thinking as a consumer and as a gamer that this game will probably be the best game in the decade. Let's be very honest. I was thinking, my gosh, this game was first announced in 2013, 2014, and now it's coming out in 2020. I was thinking, rah, it's going to be the best game ever. It's a futuristic GTA. My gosh, I'm gonna love it. Better than any game that came out last year, like Miles Morales, Ghost of Tsushima, or top all of that. And it wasn't. That's just just to be fair, that's pretty much it. It just wasn't. It was a letdown, unfortunately. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it for now. And yeah, that's all I can say about it for now. Overview and story. So overview, or what the game's really about. You play as a character called V, who's a mercenary in a cyberpunk futuristic city in the year of 2077. You have three pathways, or I say three background lives, choices you pick from in the very beginning of the game of how you grew up and who you really are. So you have the corpo, where you worked in a big aristocratic corporation, or you can choose a street kid life, where you grew up in the streets, you know all the gangs, you know all the people. You have that street knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You know your way around town. And obviously you have Badlands, or Nomad, sorry, where you're actually outside of the city, on the outskirts, and you come into it to, do what you need to do. Story is simple, is where it's simple, but I actually like it, if you know what I mean. So you're going about your mercenary ways as V, and unfortunately one of the missions you come across, you have to steal a chip, and that chip has Johnny Silverhand in it, or known as Keanu Reeves in real life. Unfortunately, because of what happens in the missions, you put him inside you and you become corrupted, and it's kind of like a virus, since on that chip is a whole nother soul, which is mad. So you put him inside you, you could become corrupted, and as time goes on throughout the game, you're slowly dying because pretty much your body can't handle two souls, if that makes sense. And also because of the chip, it's also changing the way your body is from the inside. So it's insane, and I actually like the story. It's so simple, but it is pretty good. And one thing I would have to say, which I'm literally switching over to now, is the characters.
We're still hiding them. For sure.
So the characters are what carry this game heavy. I'm not joking. I think it's one of the main reasons why I actually finished the game, is because I've done all the side missions with the characters and I didn't really care about the main mission. One person I loved throughout the entire game, and his one I made sure I finished 100%, was Kerry Eurodyne. He is one of the main characters of the samurai band group that Johnny Silverhand plays for, and obviously in the future you see him again as V, but also with Johnny inside you. And the the conversations with him, the going down with him, the pathway he goes, and seeing the effects of the rockstar life taking a toll on him and everything like that, sick. I'm not gonna lie, it was so sick. I felt his one was the most engaging out of everyone else's. Not saying everyone else was boring, but for example, Jackie, disclaimer, unfortunately he dies, but it was kind of shown in the trailer that he dies anyway. Judy Alvarez, pretty cool. She's also a love interest, but only a love interest if you're a female character. Her one was cool, but her one was a lot more depressing compared to Kerry's one. So yeah, I liked Kerry's one a lot. I'm not going to lie. His one was the most engaging out of all of them. Even Panam's. Panam's was cool, but it was just generic to her one to me, to be quite fair. I can't remember anyone else. Those are the main 4 or 3 I actually really remember. I think overall of all the characters, they are what carried this game a lot. Like even though I said like some are lower than others, they all have something to put into this game, and it's what makes you want to continue this game more. Knowing all the different characters, knowing all the different backgrounds, knowing why they do what they do, and I believe CD Projekt Red did put depth into their like backgrounds and who they really are. That's what makes you really want to play this game more, not so much because of the main story, but because of how it affects your character, how it affects your story, and the way how the game ends. Because you finish certain storylines, it actually affects the way the game actually finishes at the end. You have multiple choices. So it's interesting. I think that's the main reason why I actually finished this game 1, and I think it's the main reason why you should play this game. It's just because of the characters, the different backgrounds, and it's just pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Be very honest, it's pretty cool. Gameplay and performance. Yeah, okay. This is the reason why I said this game was disappointing. I mainly heard this because of the console that I played on, the version of the console I played on. So I have PS4 and I have the very first one that came out. It played terribly on this. I'm not even joking. It was lagging, it was crashing, got a whole lot of blue screen most of the time, and characters weren't fully loading, but I believe that was across all consoles and all different versions and depending on what you're playing on. But yeah, performance wise, it was just slow. Like gunfights were just lagging. Like I felt like I was playing online, and this is an offline story mode single player game, which was weird. Like no joke, it was just lagging everywhere, and I was thinking I can't focus on who I'm shooting at. Switching guns and switching people. Half the time, my arm wouldn't even show with the gun in front of me, and it was just a buggy mess. I'll be very honest, it was buggy and laggy. At one point, oh my gosh, guys, at one point, I couldn't even play the game for a good month because one of the missions, I think it's called Trial by Fire or Love by Fire or something like that. You play as Johnny Silverhand, you have to go on top of this building to shoot down a bunch of like enemies on top of the rooftop. No joke, the game will just be stuck in a whole loop of the airplane going around. It was a big thing, no joke, big thing on the news and everything. And the game was just unplayable. I think there was other missions that were like that for certain people, but on my one, that was the one mission I couldn't get past. I done everything people were saying apart from resetting my game, but I done loads of different things. Restart like the whole level again, go back like a mission before, do certain things, like literally everything except from delete my save file, and it just wasn't working. No joke. So I had to stop, let them fix it, put the patches up, and then play it again. So performance wise, it was bad. Gameplay wise, was bad because of the performance. I believe it would have been fun. Like some guns, some weapons seemed sick. Like you had like dual blades on your hands coming out of like your skin with the augmentations. It looked cool, but it can't be as cool as you want it to be because of the way the performance actually was. You know what I mean? So they kind of they're meant to go hand in hand, but because one hand falls, the other one will fall. So I wouldn't really recommend this game, like in terms of getting because of the gameplay or performance. That's just the sad reality. Weapons wise, I think it was a nice, I guess, variety of what they were. So obviously, like I said, dual blades coming out of your arms. You had some like swords and katanas. You had a couple like, I can't really say because I think I'll get demonetized on YouTube, or YouTube will flag me at least in the future. You had certain weapons in there that you expect in Saints Row, and that's what you got. So yeah, and like different knives and stuff like that, baseball bats. They're pretty cool. It was a good variety, I guess. Different handguns, different pistols, energy weapons, sniper rifles, assault rifles. I could say the whole lot. There was a good variety of them. I liked different shapes, different sizes, the way they looked. I loved one gun that you find randomly on the street called Skippy. He speaks to you. He tells you certain like jokes and stuff like that. You have a full-blown conversation with him sometimes. I like that. That's what I liked in this game. It was different compared to what you would expect, like, in like Call of Duty or GTA or something like that. So I have to admit, there was a good variety. However, I think the control, obviously because of performance, is what drags it down a lot, because even in gunfights, it's very laggy. Be very honest, it's very laggy. Like I said, customization as well on top of it in terms of scope and stuff like that. It's very minimal. Apart from that, they done the customization on the wrong things, I believe, because one, throughout the whole game you're first person anyway, so you can't really see yourself unless you look in a mirror. 2, they put more customization into like you and your clothing than in anything else. You're first person. I should expect to customize my guns. I should be expected to customize my cars, my apartment, maybe the people that I see, the visuals that I have through my eyes. None of that. None of that is in the game, which is very confusing because how am I supposed to see myself? I'm first person unless I get a mod, and I can only get mod if I'm playing PC, and I'm not. So make that make sense for me. It just doesn't, because cars wise and vehicles, you can't customize none of that. There's no garages to like customize your vehicle, the skins, or what you want. Well, not that I found anyway. What you're given is what you get, and it's pretty much that's it. Guns, I guess they sometimes come with skins. Like certain guns come with like crossbones and skulls and stuff like that, which is cool, but it's not what I would want on my gun. Let's just be very real. I think the very like bare minimum they gave us was obviously putting scopes or maybe a few little mods here and there, but apart from that, that's pretty much it. There's nothing really else to do in this game in terms of customization or what you really want to do. However, the control on some vehicles was horrendous. It was hard to drive in this game for some odd reason. Turning was just a myth. Turning does not exist. I'm not joking. I don't know if it's because of the console I was playing on, the version, but it was a myth. No such thing as turning exists in this game. I'll just be very, very honest. It was hard to turn. If I turn, I'm going to crash into something, definitely. If not, I have to pull the handbrakes hard to make sure I'm able to actually do a 90-degree turn. It was just, yeah, it was weird. I have to admit, some bikes were pretty cool, but not all like that. Let's just be real. And a lot of people, I think, experienced a lot of floating cars. Random things happened. I didn't experience that as much. I know some cars were glitching through like the floor and I couldn't get in it. I know one of the cars I was meant to buy on the road randomly was just glitching through the floor and I couldn't buy it all, so I just had to leave it there. But yeah, it's interesting. The whole driving experience in that game was interesting, and flying cars is just, they should have made it a flying car game, to be fair, if it's futuristic, but it wasn't, so the glitches did it for us. Alright, now we come to the conclusion. I know it was a lot of information in a short amount of time, I guess, but the conclusion of this game, whether it's go game or go home, whether you should buy it or whether you should just return it or just don't bother playing. And unfortunately, even though I played this game about 3 times and I was addicted to it at some point, I say this is a go home. Unfortunately, this game it's because of the performance, the lagginess, the way it handles, the way it plays. It's literally a quarter-baked game, and they didn't give us what we really expected. This is meant to be the game, especially the hype's up to for it to be the game. You got Keanu Reeves in it, Matrix, John Wick. You got him in this game, and it just didn't, literally just didn't hit. And it's unfortunate. It really, really is unfortunate, but it is when it is. And I know they got more DLC coming out for it, free DLC and stuff like that, but I sold the game, to be fair. I'll be honest, I'd rather sell the game and get my money and pay for another game than, you know, save the DLC and go through the same experience all over again. So yeah, go game, go home. It is a go home. So if you guys still have it and you still want to play it, feel free. No joke, feel free. You have some fun with it. I had a lot of fun with this game, but still, it just didn't hit or didn't reach my expectations of what it should have been. Apart from that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know it was so, I guess, head on with this game, but yeah, it does affect me in so many different ways that I really wish it was the best, but it isn't. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And yeah, thank you guys for coming through. We're at 1.5k or near 1.5k, so yeah, thank you guys so much. Apart from that, see you guys in the next video. Peace.